Okay, so yesterday we brainstormed right about a time you went somewhere new. So we brainstormed our ideas. We chose where we want to talk about that we went somewhere new. And then we picked our 2 to 3 details. So all I'm going to do now is start setting up my flea map with this yoga, the high ropes course, and the rafting. So I'm going to turn my page. And in the middle of my page, I'm going to write my boxes. And I have 3 boxes. Right? So I'm going to put my yoga first because that's the first thing we did. I'm going to write my high ropes course because that's the next thing we did. And then I'm going to write the rafting because that was the last thing that I want to talk about that we did there. Okay? So now that I have my main topics, I want to think about my details. So I know that the first thing we did when we got to this adventure park was we did yoga. It was under the trees and it was super shady and nice out. It was in the wilderness. It was very, very relaxing. It was super hot that day, so we were kind of sweaty. And I remember it being a very good stretch. So remember, my details are only 1 sentence each. So I might start with, when we first got to the adventure park, we decided to do a yoga class. The yoga class was underneath all of these giant trees. It was super relaxing being in the wilderness. I remember it was very hot that day, so we were also very sweaty. However, we got a great stretch in throughout the yoga class. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sentences because each of my details are a new sentence. So remember that. I don't want to combine under trees and relaxing into 1 sentence. These are each new sentences. Okay? So I want you to do the same thing. Next thing I'm going to think about is the high ropes course, and I want to think about all of the details about the high ropes course that I can remember. So you might want to think a little bit about all of the details you might put. I remember when we decided to do the high ropes course, I was super nervous. So I'm going to create a sentence. The next thing we decided to do was the high ropes course. My husband and his sister had done it before, but I was very nervous. When we first got up the ropes course, my legs were shaking. I hurt my hands, I remember, from holding onto the rope too tight, and I was finally glad at the end. So again, I might say something. The next thing we decided to do was the high ropes course. I was super nervous because my husband and his sister had already done it a bunch of times. When we got up the ropes course, crossed the bridge, my legs were already shaking. I was so scared that I had to hold on to the top of the rope and I ended up hurting my hands. When it was finally over, I was so glad to be done. Okay? Then my last detail is how we went rafting, and I loved the rafting. So I would say the last thing we decided to do was the whitewater rafting tour. The first thing we did was we had to go and learn all the rules and get all of our equipment. After that, I remember we met our guide, and actually our guide is the one who gave us the equipment. So we learned all the rules of what we needed to do, and then we met our guide who gave us our life vest and our helmets, and then we got in the boat, and there was different levels. So there was like an easy course and then a hard course, and we went through both of them, and I had so much fun. So each of these lines are going to be a completely new sentence. So remember that, okay? So each line is a new sentence. So hopefully you pushed pause a couple times throughout this video. If not, you need to go back, give your topics for each paragraph. Remember, I'm talking about the Whitewater Adventure Place, and I'm talking about 3 different things that I did or saw or experienced when I went to this new place, okay? So yoga, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences.